Hi, this is Kirk, the bariatric carnivore. When I began low carb about 6 years ago, all the rage was checking out your ketone levels. That was kind of the big thing. Everybody wanted to have their levels, 2 or 3 or 4. The really hot people in keto land were doing levels of 5 or 6. That they were in super hot ketosis. Well, what does that mean? And really, frankly, should you care? And I'll just kind of give you my quick stint on why I think they were kind of important for a while, but why I don't care about them anymore. When you begin a low-carb diet, your body is going to switch from using glucose as its primary fuel source to ketones. Ketones are just basically a marker that's showing that your body is using fat to burn for energy, not carbohydrates or glucose. And look, we can get into the nuance of it and the biology and the cell biology and dig into the mitochondria, but frankly, that's generally it. Your body's going to either run on ketones or it's going to run on glucose. That's pretty much your two choices. So if you're eating a low-carb diet, your body's going to be switching over and it's going to be right on ketones. Now, that does not mean that your glucose level is going to be zero if you're eating a carnivore diet. I practically eat 0 carbs each day. But, sometimes my blood glucose level goes up. How in the world does that happen? Well, it's a process called gluconeogenesis, which is where your body converts protein into needed glucose, because your body does need a certain level of glucose, and it will produce its own utilizing protein. Okay, and if your body is a little too active at doing that, some people have suggested doing a little bit of whole milk, and that will help get the body to calm down and quit creating so much glucose and stealing from your protein reserves. That pretty much takes care of it. So you might want to get a glucose meter, but do you really need to check the ketones? And frankly, I can't find any studies that say having over a certain percentage of ketones really makes a difference. There are people like Verta Health that they're tracking to see if people are actually following the diet. And for people that are type 2 diabetics, where you're talking about insulin control and other stuff, making sure that somebody is actually sticking to their diet and staying under the requisite number of 20 grams of carbohydrates a day and getting off of processed food, well, then they want to check that. So they'll use a breath meter that measures an acetone level that gives them a relative equivalent of how much ketones are in the bloodstream. And they define their level of therapeutic ketosis is about 0.08. That's where, if there's a 0.08 level in the bloodstream, you're in therapeutic ketosis and you're burning fat. And that's, for them, when they're checking that, that's a good thing. But if you're eating a carnivore diet or you've been low carb for a while, frankly, I don't see any reason to be checking them. I checked them, initially. But, you can, when you're starting off, if you want to see if your body is converted to where it is using ketones and that there's ketones now in the blood, well, you can use a urine strip. And they're very cheap. You can get them at any drugstore. And you take a whiz on that, and all of a sudden it turns to the requisite color, and you know what level of ketosis you're in. So that's a nice check. But it only works for like the first couple of months. After that, your body becomes very good at utilizing ketones because it's energy for the body, and it doesn't put it in the urine anymore. So you can't check really after the first couple of months. By that point, you have to use one of two meters. You can use the breath meters, or you can use a finger stick method where they can check your ketone levels. There's a company called Keto Mojo that produces a very economical, very good ketone meter. So all of them, they're fine if you want to spend the money on doing it, but does it tell you anything? If you're going to spend your time, money, and talent, if you're going to prick your finger or breathe into something like that, what do you get for it? And frankly, not much. I don't think there's any real advantage to knowing what your ketone levels are if you know that your carbs are low. And if you're eating carnivore, frankly, I don't track any of my macros anymore. I don't care how many calories I eat. I don't care how much fat do I eat and how much my protein is. I mean, I just eat what I want to eat when I'm hungry. And when I'm done, I quit eating until I'm hungry again. And my body weight stays very stable, and I don't have to worry about it. Now, I mean, if you want to make certain changes to your body, if you want to start leaning out, well, then you just start eating leaner cuts of meat. Throw in some fish and stuff like that, and your body will start getting leaner, frankly, because you're just not putting in the fat. You can check your blood glucose level from time to time if it seems to be a little high, to see if you want to throw in some whole milk to lower that down, because your body will start utilizing the sugars in the whole milk and it'll lower it down. So these are all different tricks. These are all different things that you can test out, but frankly, you don't really need them. So if you want to, you can. If not, don't worry about it, because there's no real scientific advantage that I can determine. But if you disagree, please leave a comment below. I mean, if there's some sort of secret knowledge that I am missing as to why you need to check your ketone levels, please put that down in the comments below. I'll take a look at it, maybe do another video on that, once I research it. I'm always curious, always trying to learn, but there are some people that will really go out of their gourd on tracking down their ketone levels, and I'm not quite sure it's all that necessary. I'm going to spend my money on high quality meat. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a new message every single workday. If you like this message, if you want to hear more like it, please hit the like and subscribe button. That helps grow the channel. Please leave comments down below. I look at every single one of them, and I really enjoy hearing from people that are getting something out of these videos. And I try to put out a new one every single workday. I will talk to you soon.